I do know that there's a possibility that state charges and that they would be exempt from a pardon, but I don't know specifically whether there are any charges. My job is to make sure that we never fund this gain-of-function dangerous research again. And so I've introduced legislation to have a presidential commission. President Trump would appoint the committee members, and then they would study all research, classified and unclassified, to make sure we're not doing this dangerous research.
Senator Paul, let me ask you, because millions of Americans watch this hearing today, and they, like you, were frustrated to see the Fifth being invoked 111 times, and literally not a single question that Anthony Fauci would answer. What do you say to Americans who are frustrated, that feel that ultimately accountability may never be achieved?
I think there's a legal question that should be pursued. This is why we'll push this with the Department of Justice. And the legal question is, if you're pardoned, can you really claim the Fifth? The Fifth Amendment is to claim immunity from self-incrimination. But if you've already been given immunity, you can't self-incriminate unless you lie. So the only way he could incriminate himself today was if he lied. For example, if I ask him, did you delete 5,000 records during your tenure? Did you have your assistant delete these emails? If he says yes, even though it's a crime, he's admitting to a crime he's been pardoned for. So he wouldn't have any immunity. I don't know how you plead the Fifth Amendment to something you've already been granted immunity for. But this is a legal decision, and that's why I think it needs to be pursued in court. Whether or not a pardon, you can continue to claim the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination when you've already been given immunity. So I think there are some really important legal questions here.
So you anticipate challenging the legal viability of the pardon itself?
Well, I think that we push it to the Department of Justice. I can't bring charges because I have no prosecutorial power. The Department of Justice can, and what I'm looking towards doing in the next week or so is drawing up a legal brief citing legal precedent for the Fifth Amendment not being appropriate for someone who's been pardoned. I think as we put those arguments forward, then we'll leave it up to the Department of Justice, but we will strongly encourage them that they should pursue this.
In just a few seconds I've got left, one final question, Senator, and that is your reaction to your fellow Democrats, Ranking Member Peters and others, and how they handled this today.
I don't understand it. I don't understand how they can see 1 million Americans die from dangerous research funded by the government and not be upset about that, not want to get to the bottom of that. So they complained they didn't have records. I have put all the records on an internet site for committee members for a year. Do you know how many Democrats looked at it? They have to get a password. Not one of them asked for the password. We told their offices, you can look at all of this. So they don't seem to care about the truth. I think they want to defend the government more than they want to get to the truth of, did your government actually fund something that led to a pandemic that killed 1 million Americans? I don't know why they would not want to know the truth.
That's something else. Senator Rand Paul, thank you for your time. We look to continue to